The 1-2 Football Podcast. The voices of tomorrow, here today.
Is Dean Smith the man to take Aston Villa forward? I don't think so.
Why can't Everton break into the top four?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will lead Manchester United to a Premier League title. He just needs time.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 1-2 Football Podcast. I'm Nathan. Today we're talking all about Ralf Rangnick's arrival at Manchester United. As usual, I'm here with Ollie. Hopefully Kieran will be joining us for the quiz. But Ollie, a new manager for Man United, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's exciting times. Obviously, we'll speak about the manager in a minute. Hopefully, Kieran can join us. He's too busy, working and biceps at the gym right now. But hopefully, he'll be able to join us with the quiz, and hopefully, I can actually get my first win on that as well. So,
yeah, it's a big number one contenders match. I've taken the quiz duties, but for now, in terms of the manager chat, let's get into it. So, Ralf Rangnick has been announced as the new interim manager of Man United, not the permanent manager yet, and 2 years above as consultancy, which kind of sounds like director of football, maybe not the man there, but someone that the manager, whoever takes over, can look to. So when you saw this, what was your initial sort of thoughts? Obviously, Ollie, you being the resident United fan of the show, what was you thinking when you first saw this?
When I first saw it, I was very happy. I've spoken to a lot of people, and if they can remember our chats, I've said for a long time that I want Ralf would be my number one for interim, because he can then stay at the club. It's not like we've just got someone to come in and leave. That's not what he wanted. He got offered that at Chelsea, I believe, and he said no, because what are you to the fans, to the players? You're just a stop along the way. So I'm quite happy about that. He is the godfather of gegenpress. He is the man for this. Yeah, I probably just screwed that up.
Gegenpress, you almost had it.
But, he is the man for this. The likes of Tuchel, the likes of Klopp, all of these people have learned under him. They've been trying to perfect his style. So to have him at Manchester United is massive. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think the fact he'll be on the consultancy afterwards is huge. I think the fact that will be on consultancy means that we'll actually probably have quite a successful January window, because that is going to be his job afterwards, transfers and like this. And so him being on the board afterwards with transfers means there's no reason why we shouldn't invest now. Obviously, maybe not as much as we would have been a permanent manager, but definitely more so than, it's not really an interim. It is an interim in a way, but it's kind of not an interim because he will be part of the club anyway. And the fact that he's going to have a say in the next manager means he's probably going to get someone with the same philosophy. So the players probably will have quite an easy ease from interim manager to, constant manager at the end of the season. So that's good to look forward to. But I have just read that he's actually failed his work permit because he doesn't have enough FA. So for Conte just walked in, you have to have something like 2 years back to back in management in the last 5 years or something, or 3 years, or 3 years just randomly around. So 2 here and 1 here, or 1 here, whatever. And he doesn't have that, obviously, because he was at RB Leipzig at certain times, then he went to the board role. So he's not had enough. So he's going to have to speak in front of a panel. This has been reported anyway. He's going to have to speak in front of a panel in order to get given the job get given the interim job to actually take it on. I think everyone's pretty hopeful because he has a lot of credentials in football and in the sport. Everyone knows his credentials. So it would be a massive shock if he wasn't actually given it and allowed to do it. But right now, I'm sure there are slight nerves at the Manchester camp thinking, oh no, but I don't think that's anything to worry about, really.
Yeah, there's slight nerves wondering whether this podcast will be relevant in a few days' time if he doesn't get it. But I'm sure he will. I'm sure Man United won't be denied at manager, especially someone who has the reputation of his. I mean, he transformed RB Leipzig, Hoffenheim. They were struggling before his arrival, so he's got a lot of experience in German football, perhaps not so much outside. That's where he's been recently. So I believe he was either heavily linked or was at AC Milan. Obviously, Lokomotiv Moscow recently. I can't lie, not a watcher of Russian football, so I can't tell you what his impact has been, but they weren't happy to lose him, which tells you something. But I do think the fact he has been appointed for a longer term in a consultancy area actually is quite exciting for Man United, probably more so than this interim period here, because that means United should, you never know with Man United, they probably don't, but they should have an idea who they want to be their next manager. Obviously, the one name that seems to be happy to take it come the summer is Erik ten Hag, and there's that similarity there. There's that press in football. Erik ten Hag loves to United have scored a ridiculous amount of goals, and I understand that is in a lesser league, but you see them in the Champions League. They're beating teams that are good. Teams Man United would be delighted to beat. So that does show that there might be the start, and this has been the one thing with Manchester United for the longest time. This might be the start of an actual contingency plan for Man United, and they know what they're going to do, and they know what they want to achieve. Do you think this is the start of United actually saying, right, stop all this terrible last-minute recruitment. This is what we want. Here's how long it's going to take us to achieve it. And we're going to start here with Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very rare that Manchester United give people a position on the board for starters. So there's a change there immediately. Whether or not he will have as much power and say as we think he will be a whole new thing come 6 months' time. But right now, we've got to just take it as we read it, and it sounds like he will do. So yeah, it could be a whole new era of Manchester United. Better thinking, better club led by people on the board. I say people on board, one person on the board that kind of knows what he's doing. He was last position, I'm pretty sure, like you said, at Moscow, was, I think, head of development or youth development, something like that, and stuff like that. So he's going to be able to interact with the youth players at Manchester United. He's going to be able to lead them, not only for the present, but for the future. And I imagine if he does a good job, he'll be there for more than 2 years, unless somebody comes in who does really well as interim and actually offers him a managerial job, but hopefully not. But yeah, it is very exciting. I think, like I said, Ten Hag, I don't know much about him personally, but I know that his philosophy is very similar. So like I previously said about it being a smooth transition, that would definitely work. And I'd like to see that, him on the board, Ten Hag in charge. The glory days for Manchester United could finally be coming back. And deja vu, to be honest, from 3 years ago. We said this with, actually, I didn't say this to Ollie. I didn't like him when he came in charge. It took a couple of months for me to be on board with it, but a lot of people thought the glory days would return here. So hopefully it's not a stuck record and we're going round in circles. But yeah, you know, next 6 months could be really exciting, and it'll be interesting to see how we play. Carrick is clearly trying to implement this pressing football currently, as we saw against Chelsea. And Ronaldo doesn't fit into that clearly under him because he didn't start. So it'll be interesting to see who plays and how they play, to be honest. But it's good to see Carrick's trying to implement the philosophy. He's clearly wanting to keep a job at Man United. Okay, look what I'm doing. I'm here to work under you. So that will be interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously United were one of the worst pressing teams in the Premier League under Solskjaer, especially this season. They were very poor at it. I mean, we saw they got absolutely took apart by Liverpool. I mean, that is going to be interesting. Ronaldo as well up front, the least amount of press in the league. And obviously you don't always have to press to be a great team and to be a great player. Obviously Ronaldo's a fantastically clutch player, but that might not gel with how Rangnick works. You know, so who do you think is going to thrive under this system now? What players are you looking at in that Man United team and saying, look, even in 2-3 years time, you can be the man here? Sort of similar to how Klopp identified Jordan Henderson as a player that was going to be there for the long haul because of his sort of, I can't think of the intangibles that what he has. So is there any players that you see in the United team that can do that?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's clear to see from the Chelsea display that players like Rashford and Sancho have the ability to press, to catch Jorginho out. Obviously, it was a mistake by him, but it was the pressing that Man United put on display in that game, which made us, get a point from that. Because to be honest, everyone was saying it was a great performance. It wasn't an overly great performance from us. We got very lucky, but that pressing from them certain players really helped us to get that goal. So yeah, Sancho, I think, could be someone that obviously is starting to come to life now, especially since Ollie's gone and the more pressing football has come into play. I don't think it's a surprise from that we've seen him score 2 goals when our tactics have been more pressing. So under Ralf, it could be very, very exciting for him. Rashford, Greenwood, all these players with legs, I think, can do really well. And obviously, with this sort of play, we need attacking fullbacks. Wan-Bissaka might not be the man under Ralf. I've seen us actually linked with, could be rumours, but with Lamptey, or however you want to say his name, at Brighton, which I think would be really exciting. And Luke Shaw and Telles. Telles is so underrated at Manchester United. And, his set pieces, his passing, his finishing, as we saw in the Champions League, is great. And I think his work rate, along with Luke Shaw, finally and hopefully we can see the best of Luke Shaw again after he peaked in the Euros. But one man, which I think he's only going to have 6 months to shine, but this man presses more than anyone, is Edinson Cavani. If he can come back fit, his pressing ability is second to none. All right, he is incredible. He presses non-stop. Unlike Ronaldo, you see him in every single game, highlights of him just running and running. His work rate is incredible. I know he's probably going to leave at the end of the season, and to be fair, it's probably right, because as much as I think he's one of our better players, he clearly hasn't got the fitness. He is getting older, and he doesn't seem to have the fitness, because obviously he's out injured a lot. Especially now with a reoccurring injury. But I think if he is fit and he can come back in, it'll be interesting to see who starts. Like we said, Ronaldo's pressing isn't great. Cavani's on the other hand is exceptional. So it'll be interesting. We have a lot of options up front. Who's going to get dropped?
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo might turn into sort of an impact player, which I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with, playing only 20 minutes a game. So it'll be interesting how he can manage that as well, because if Ronaldo doesn't play, and the one thing with Rangnick, has he managed any, big clubs? Not really. He's not a club like Man United is a bit different. Is the sort of the pressure, the hostility is there. If you don't get it right, maybe not so in the ground, but on social media, things like that, I'm sure he's not got an account, but you know what I mean. It is just a bit different. The pressure of the Premier League, the media scrutiny. I mean, a lot of managers sometimes do struggle with that, because the English media is completely different to other sets. They're very they love to get every single story out, love to find things out. I mean, they do it to their own country, they will do it to you. It's just how it is. So how he deals with perhaps an unhappy Ronaldo and how he gets him on side. I mean, this is hypothetical. Ronaldo might play every single game from here on out. But it will be interesting to see how he deals with that character like Ronaldo, who has to play in his head because he's so good, and he is very good. But it's that kind of dealing with the ego, and that would be interesting to see. I do wonder also about Fred, because Fred plays for Brazil. He tends to impress, and he plays in that kind of 8 role where he gets at players, he creates space. Will that change at United now? Because he's, I think most people see him as kind of an average Premier League midfielder, and no one's special. He's not going to win you a title. He's there, but he's not one of their better players. But I do have a kind of feeling he might turn into something useful here for Man United. Perhaps not starting, but he could turn into a lot more of a useful player. Maybe someone also like McTominay, who is, again, not a player you would want to start if you were going to win the Premier League, but someone that could, for this 6-month period, really help United establish a press.
Yeah, 100%. Firstly, on Ronaldo, I think the biggest difference between Ralf and Ollie is Ollie's a man management manager, Ralph's a tactical manager, and there's been a lot of things going around recently that Ralf is known to have some busts up with players. He's not the best when it comes to big personalities, that it's his way or the highway. And I think that's probably done. He's a very strict tactician, apparently. And so it'll be interesting to see how personalities like Ronaldo, like Pogba, we need to remember, he can...
Yeah, Pogba.
Yeah, how these players will fit under his system. Now, at the end of the day, I think there's nothing better than a manager who is strict, and you either fit in his philosophy or you don't. No one is bigger than Man United, and I think Ralf is definitely going to get that across. So it'll be interesting to see how players like Pogba and how Ronaldo fit in. For me, Pogba, I think, is definitely going to go this in the summer window. I think if someone comes in like Ralf with this pressing, I don't really think Pogba does that. Pogba likes his time on the ball. He's quite a lazy player in a way. He's a fantastic player, but he's a lazy player. So will this pressing work? But work rate is the one thing that Fred has. And I think that's going to really work for Fred. Fred is not a ball-winning midfielder, neither is McTominay, and that's why they have not been playing very well, or not been playing great under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because they're being misused. We've said this time and time again. But in a different role, a pressing role, under Ralf, Fred could honestly shine. And I think, against Chelsea, Fred and McTominay actually played very well. I've seen a lot of people actually complimenting them, and they deserve that praise because they had a very good game. And so I think this could be a time where you're going to see different players shine and different players flop. And obviously that's the case with different tactics, because obviously before it was very much sitting back and then break. This is press, press, press. So it's going to fit different players. It probably will mean a shift in players starting. Like I said, maybe Dalot will start out on the right-hand side because, Wan-Bissaka's not the greatest when it goes up front. That'll be interesting to see. But for me, this is the best chance Fred will ever have to implement himself as a starting Man United player, which everyone actually wants to see. He's never going to have a better chance than right now. So for me, that McFred partnership could do really well. Interesting to see how Donny van der Beek does as well, because obviously a forgotten man, he's got quite a good work rate as well. But I am seeing a lot of rumours that Ralf wants to bring in a ball-winning midfielder as his first signing, and is apparently if he can only get one, it wants to be that in January. So to Man United fans, you can all breathe a sigh of relief. He obviously clearly is good with signings, and he clearly has been watching Man United, knowing exactly what he wants to implement. So could be a good 2.5 years.
It is certainly going to be interesting. Just one more thing to touch on, obviously transfers happening. I read something today that he is good friends with Erling Haaland's dad.
Yeah.
And that is something that he will look to try and bring in. I mean, imagine Cavani goes and you get in Haaland. Because another thing I was going to touch on actually, when Liverpool first got Klopp, injuries, a lot of injuries happened, and they still do now because it is a high intensity style of play. So United are in certain positions, they're very lucky to have a lot of depth. Up front, it won't be too much of a bother. As much as the quality might not be perfect, they do have enough defenders to live. They ain't going to be in the Liverpool situation in terms of centre backs. But so that will be interesting to see how they handle that and how fit they really are going into this. But I did want to touch on the Haaland thing because I think it's always fun because he is such a big prospect. And just imagine him at Manchester United. I would hate it because he's so good.
I'm
sure you would love it.
I'm a Cheshire cat right now. Obviously he was linked with Man United under Ollie because of that Norway and working at Molde Link. So that was always there. And now we've got another manager. I think Man United just want managers that can get on with Haaland to get him. Because we need to remember, in a month's time, he can talk to clubs to sign, like a pre-deal or not a pre-deal, but he can sign that, like the buyout clause in the contract actually gets activated. So, in 2 months' time, his future could be decided. And what better place to go than Man United? Come on, if you're listening, Haaland, which, if you are, comment, please tell us. That would be incredible. But if you are, mate, come to Man United because he's got great work rate as well. He's got speed, he's got strength. What better man to lead that pressing line? Maybe even under Ralf, to be honest, because I have seen some people saying that if he does a good job, he could get it permanently. So maybe he'll actually be telling people he's on the board trying to pick the next manager. Pick me. So
yeah, well, that happened at Reading. A few years ago. Mark Bowen, the director, he was like, "Who's the best man for the job? Me." And he just took it himself, and he was the manager for a year and a half there. So who knows? Ralf Rangnick could pull that off if he felt like it. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, Ajax won't want to lose Ten Hag either. So that whole thing is going to be interesting. But it is an exciting time for Man United. That wraps up the chat about Manchester United. Thank you all for listening or watching. As promised, Kieran is back. He is ready for the quiz, the number one contenders match, fresh from the gym. How was your session, Kieran?
That was just my warm-up for the quiz. I had to get it in there.
If I lose now, it's because I've had all my, my mental stuff has just gone on Ralph. I'm not actually warmed up for the fight. So 1-0.
Obviously, the winner of this will face your current champion, myself, next week, or next time we record, hopefully next week. And the loser will do the quiz. Obviously,
I look forward to making that quiz, to be fair. Should be a good one.
I've honourably set aside, so I hope you can see this, where it says quiz.
Quiz, nice, imaginative.
That is what it is, and I don't mess about. So, the first round is just... the first round won't start till I can move.
It's gonna go for a ball.
Right. So the first round is trivia. So it is just general football trivia. It's gonna go. You can either choose. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to jump in with whoever just thinks of it first, or do you want to just go one by one? Because there's 5 questions in trivia.
We can do a jump in if there's a long number.
We'll just do a jump in. We had this similar question here, so let's just not mess about. Who is the most successful club in Europa League, and how many times have they won? So it is just it's very similar to the FA Cup question.
Yeah, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't really know, but I'm going to go with Sevilla or whatever because I know they win it a hell of a lot, and I'm going to say 3.
Kieran, have you got something for it?
I'd have said Sevilla as well, but I would have thought they'd won more than 3 because I think they won 3 like either on the spin or. Excuse me, in the last 5-6 years. So can I also say Sevilla?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Sevilla as well then, but with 5.
Ooh. Well, what I'm going to do, Ollie obviously went first. He jumped in. He did get the team correct. It is Sevilla. Sevilla have won it the most times, but neither of you got the number right. So I'm giving out an extra point for whoever gets the number right.
4.
No.
6.
Kieran, there we go. 1-1 to kick things off early on. I thought I'd be fair.
I was going to say 6, but then I thought maybe we were both one off of it, and so did it again.
Sevilla have done it 6 times. There you go. I mean, Noel Emery, the king of the tournament. So, the next question: who scored Brazil's only goal in their 7-1 defeat against Germany?
Kieran.
Ollie.
We're not in.
I just put my hand.
Yeah, I just already sound
Oh.
up.
This is get David Luiz.
Incorrect. Kieran.
Oscar.
Yes.
Oh.
I was going to give you a clue if you both got it wrong. That's the squad, and that's the player. Oscar, the Chelsea midfielder, got a goal in one of the most historic games.
Was it a good goal?
Pardon?
Was it a good goal?
I can't remember.
It was all right.
I cannot remember. Next question. Who is the oldest team in the Premier League? And what I mean by this is what team has existed the longest? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, Kieran, you will go first. Guess the team and guess what year they were established as a club. And there were 2 points if you do so. Kieran?
Well, I mean, this is hard, but I know Spurs are old, and I know the year, so I'll go Spurs. I believe it's 1882.
It's incorrect. Both counts. Obviously.
I'll go next.
Go on, Ollie.
I have no clue. I'm going to say Everton. Go with Everton. They won the last one we did on TikTok. Everton, 1878.
No, on both counts. Kieran, are you ready?
Not really, mate.
It's a tough one.
Who is old? Like
This is going to be embarrassing.
Old team.
this is before our time and then some.
Well, before my granddad's time, I think.
Well, I'll just throw out the year as 1872, and I'll go with Leeds.
Incorrect.
Leeds is a good shout.
On both counts, may I
I
say. If you
thought
do get the year right, I will give you the point.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I thought Everton. I just,
Could be anyone.
Everton,
Anyone except the teams you've said.
I'm pretty sure Everton were created before Liverpool, and I'm pretty sure Liverpool is older than Man U. So I'm not going to say them two clubs. Newcastle, 1868.
No, on both counts.
What I'm trying to do is a lot of teams have the year they were founded on the badge, but
I
it's
can't
in
remember
that.
very small
I'll
text,
give you a
lot of
clue. They don't.
them. They don't. Oh, okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Oh,
If you both had even goes, it was Kieran that started off with it.
yeah. But I've had two guesses, I think.
Trying to think of what.
Well, we can do one
clue
more
would
and
be.
Yeah, if we do one more guess.
Yeah.
Okay. 1874 Aston Villa.
Ooh, bang on the money. Aston Villa 1874 to make it 3-1.
Do you want to know something really weird?
Unbelievable.
You want to know something really weird? When I said Newcastle, as I said Newcastle, I was like, I really want to change my answer to Aston Villa, but I was like, I'll go with it. Don't doubt myself.
That is incredible.
Aston Villa performed 1874. Everton I think they were second, 1878 for Everton.
Yeah.
But Aston Villa are the oldest.
I was
team
wrong with my logic, wasn't I? Everton came before Liverpool, and Liverpool came before Man U.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're right in that. Now, I did a lecture where we had to go through all this in the World Cup final in 1966 when England won. So this is fresh in my brain. How many shots were there in the World Cup final? And you're only going to get one guess each. Whoever is closest will win. Get the point. So how many shots are there in a normal game of football? Was it the same amount of
that's
the normal
subjective.
amount of
I was
shots
going to say, that's,
in 9?
if it's my FM game yesterday, I won 11-0. It was like 37 shots, just me alone. So,
I mean, but what was
In
football
England,
like back
Latvia,
in the day?
Yeah, they're 62.
I mean, how many shots
Okay.
could there be
I
in a
can't-
game of football in 1966?
I can't even remember what the score was.
Oh, come on, Ollie. You're
4-2.
4-2, but there you go. That's 6 shots. I was actually going to say less than that, I think, because I thought it might have been low.
Damn it.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right, okay, I'm going to say 13.
13. Kieran.
Oh, that is a... Because there's a part of mine... Because I watched the replay of it on like Channel 4.
Game.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember it. I don't remember a lot happening, so I'm going to go quite... but then, no, I'm going to go higher. Sorry. 17.
17. Both awful guesses, but how many shots were there in the England-Latvia game, Kieran?
Oh, like 63 or something?
But it was 62 in the World Cup.
No.
World Cup final. I watched the replay of the game recently. They shot from anywhere. They got space to shoot. And remember, the game went for 120 minutes as well. It wasn't just 90 minutes. It was wild. It was terrible. But England did win. It was literally... They were shooting anytime they got space, they would shoot. It would normally go across the floor. It really was strange to see how much football's evolved from then. But so going into that, Kieran, you do get the point with that woeful guess of 17. It is 4-1. Going into this last question, Plymouth versus Carlisle is the longest away day in the Football League you can do. How many miles is it? Again, it's a case of closest to wins.
Okay.
How many miles is Plymouth Carlisle?
Okay, the distance between Plymouth and Carlisle and miles.
Yeah, in miles, kind of similar to the Wembley, Wembley one that we did the other week. So this is one side to the other side.
I'm shocking at geography. Whereabouts is Carlisle on the map? Obviously, no.
Cumbria, up north.
Yeah, very close to Scotland.
Oh.
Plymouth is not.
Can I just...
Whoever wants to have a swing.
I'll go 375.
375. Ollie, what are you rocking with? You probably do need the point. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is quite an easy one to get a point, really, as long as I'm just a bit closer to it. Well, now the thing is, I think it's more than that, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to be so far more than that it's so off it. So I'm going to go close to you, but only slightly more. I'm going to say 380.
You swine.
I was going to say an extra point if you get it bang on. You didn't get it bang on, but you do have the point.
Yes,
389
I was actually going to go 390, so I wouldn't be bang on either way. But I just thought I'd be cheeky. I think it's more than that. I don't know how many more.
So 4-2 going into round. So who am I? So I'm Nathan, host of the One Football Cast. This is about who these people are.
Oh, we'll cut that bit out.
We want to know. This is not going to be about players. This is about managers, the people on the touchline. It's going to be their Wikipedia career with the dates, so that will help you. I know some people do struggle, so let's just get straight into it. We'll say for this one, Ollie, you're going to go first.
All right, brilliant.
As you're down, and then Kieran, you'll go second, and the third one will be a jump in.
You best get this because I know who it is.
I think I know who it is. Is it Mark Hughes?
Bang. Yes.
Come on.
There you go, Mark. No messing about.
Joke, and I was like, yeah, I got that.
No messing about. I'm trying to make these fair for both. I was trying to get in between the middle of the knowledge. I think I've done that well on that one. So 4-3 going into Kieran here. Who is this guy? Spells at Liverpool, Blackburn, Newcastle, a quick spell at Celtic, then Liverpool.
11 years later.
11 years? I didn't even notice that.
A quick time there. Just pop back in.
And whatever's beneath it is a very long name.
Yeah, I don't think that was... I can't remember what that was. I don't think it was anything relevant. It might have just been the director role.
He was at Liverpool beforehand.
I'm glad you got this because I wouldn't have a clue.
I may be way off here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure this bloke is Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go for Kenny Dalglish.
It is. Sir or King, however you want to address it. It is Kenny Dalglish.
What a man.
What a legend for Liverpool.
I only had one guess, and I had his face, and I couldn't think of his name, so I'm glad that I didn't.
I could not picture his face, but I could remember the name.
So there you go, King Kenny. So it comes on. This is going to be a jump-in round. So you're both going to have the opportunity to go in. As soon as you know who it is, go for it. It's currently...
Is there more rounds after this?
There's one more round after this with three things.
go for it as in name or hand, or just scream out the answer?
Just scream out the name. I think will work.
Okay.
I have forgot the score.
When
So
you guess,
4-2, 5-3.
It's 5-3. Once you guess, are you locked out to the next person or keep
Yes.
going? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. If
Right.
I
So it is this a long for it, but someone who's currently
Marco
about.
Silva. No.
Incorrect. I feel like Kieran might know who it is now.
Yep.
So there's pressure on you, Ollie.
Well, I think I do anyway.
He's managed some good teams, to be fair.
I honestly, I don't have a clue. Is that him at Getafe now then?
So if you know about Spanish football,
I mean, I saw Shanghai, I saw Watford, and I started to have an idea, and then I wait, no, he's at Watford now, and there's no Leicester.
Ranieri.
Yeah.
No, Ranieri never touched China, I don't think.
Who not?
Italy. No, I think he went Sampdoria in between
Okay.
Leicester and.
Oh, who? I know who this is.
This to make it 5-4 going into a big round.
Yeah, I can't think, so you can come back in if you want, Kieran, because I honestly can't.
Go on, Kieran.
Cisco Nunez.
No.
I still don't have a clue.
What?
That is a full Watford manager.
The last few
That would be
years.
Watford 2021.
I'm trying to think of who they had.
I can't think.
He was the manager for a long time. I think he had Watford doing pretty well before he left. Obviously, you know Watford's policy.
He's had
He started
two
doing badly.
Yeah, two spells.
It did. Came in for a brief point for. I
Neither was
believe
very long.
No, I can't even remember them, but they've had so many.
I believe it was before Pearson, if that's any help.
I've got another manager in my head, but I'm pretty sure it's not him.
Just say it. I ain't got.
Walter Mazzari.
No.
Oh,
Manager.
I can't think of a single person. I don't know why.
Ollie, can you just give us a guess?
No, I know this is completely wrong, but I can't get Rafa Benitez out of my mind. I know it's wrong, but I can't get
It's not Rafa Benitez. Well, get out your mind now.
I know it ain't
It's
him.
not right.
He's been at a lot of clubs.
Cisco Munoz and Rafa Benitez are the same nationality as this manager. As you can probably tell by his early career, he is a Spanish man.
I can literally picture him.
A suave man as well, if you will.
He's a tall guy, short black hair, quite tall.
I don't know his height.
Did I say short man, tall? Did I say short and tall? No, is he,
How many-
is he short, dark hair? Really?
I don't know if he didn't strike me as a giant.
Is he fairly?
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to get this.
No, I don't think I am either. I think I can picture him now, though.
Come on,
I'm
guys.
so annoyed because
It's a three word name. I'm going to try and help you get this. There's 3 words in this name. Because what we will do, if I'll give you a bit more time, I will literally show you the picture of the man, and whoever shouts his name first will get the point.
Can't just think of his
Show
name.
us pictures of man. You're gonna be a
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
There he is.
That's not who I was.
Literally nothing's coming to me.
He did well with Watford as well. He's all right first time round.
How can I?
He had them in 7th, I
Is
think,
it?
for a bit.
No, I think I've got part of his name in my head, but I
Oh,
can't.
Kike Sanchez Flores.
Yeah, there we go. TK Sanchez
I
Flores.
had Flores. Did you hear me say Flores?
I don't know.
In
It
my
might have
head,
been drowned
like-
out by Kieran
I like
getting it
No,
straight
I don't
away.
know if Kieran. I don't know if Kieran had it. I can think of the flop, and then I stopped saying it because I thought the minute I say that, it was part of Kieran.
Yeah, I think you
Maybe you're
giving me that one a bit.
Maybe you're sub.
Right, so
Flores.
6-3 going into this last round. This round's called back to back. There's gonna be 3 categories of players, or whatever the category is, and you're gonna go back to back naming them until one of them gets it wrong. The winner, I'm trying to think, for 6-3. I'm gonna say the winner will get 2 points.
Right,
I think that works.
What have we got to do?
You've got right. First, for example, the Ballon d'Or list 2021.
Oh, we just got
One of you will start, and you keep going until one of you gets one wrong. I'm trying to think of a fair point system for this. I cannot. So I'm going to say, you're 3 down. We'll say 3 points, because if there's a draw, we'll think of a tiebreaker question. So 3 points if you get it right. It's currently 6-3. Let me just get the Ballon d'Or list
This
up.
could be really
Ollie,
hard for me right
as you're down, you will get to choose. Do you want to go first or second?
now. I'll go first.
You go first. Right. So I have 30 players here that were on the Ballon d'Or list this year.
Ballon d'Or spelled
30.
wrong then.
30, I believe so.
Yeah, it is. It's 2 L's, I think.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
L for you. We good
That was worse than mine. Right. You ready?
Yeah,
Go.
Messi.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Jorginho.
Yes. Third.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
I'm now nervous. I don't actually know for sure anyone else that was on it. Who's 30 players? So there's got to be really good players for last.
Think of just good football players.
Yeah,
or people
mm.
that-
People that won quite a lot. So surely there's got to be more Italians in there as well. I want to. Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in 10th.
So nervous. Oh, was it? Man.
What did you say?
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Lukaku.
Yes. 12.
I'm going to say his guy because if he's not, his thing, Benzema.
Benzema. Yeah. 4th.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, then. I just had someone then I've forgotten. Suarez.
Suarez. Yes. 17th.
Salah.
Yeah. 7th. Bit low. For my liking. I think it should be a bit higher.
Yeah, no, he should be. Haaland.
Yeah. He comes in at 11th. No doubt be one at some point. All the way.
This is hard.
Come on, Ollie.
It's like, come on, this is getting hard now. Because you can think of players, but if they're not on it, you've lost. You just,
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you both with one off. If you get one wrong, I will let you have another go to say it correct there. But you only get one opportunity.
I don't know if I've said this person yet, so I'm going to say.
And if you repeat again, yeah, that's not.
Kante.
Yeah, he's on there 5th. I haven't been mentioned.
God. Actually, well, we've got one, so I can breathe a bit more. I'm pretty sure. Can I really show off here because I think I know the number of this player? Like
Go on,
what
then.
number?
You get no. Yeah, just
Yeah,
show
no,
off
I think
points.
Nicola Barella was either 26th or 27th.
He was 26th. Yeah, Nico Barella.
Bonus point?
Maybe a bit. No. It might be a bit low, to be honest, considering his season. Go on, I'll leave. I've plenty of time to think.
I've not had plenty of time to think. I was waiting for him to showboat.
Showboat I did.
Look at that. Big dick energy. What gym? Oh, no.
You need to show a bit of pace.
Is that a clue? Is some of these players got a lot of pace?
Well, yeah, some of them are quick. Well, this was a bit more back to back. Rather, this is a terrible rally. If this was 10,
Come on, Barefoot. I thought I said my own name wrong then.
yeah, he's not on the list.
Come on. Honestly, Locatelli.
Locatelli, no,
Okay.
he's not on the list.
I just wanted to kind of get rid of a lifeline, so if I do get it wrong, it's just over. And I kind of had it because it was of Italy.
He must get this right. Come on, think of some really good football players.
I'm going to say this, even though I don't know if it's true. If he's on it, Sancho.
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. There you go.
No, wrong. There you go. So it is 3 points to Kieran. That makes it 9. That means, Ollie, you do have to win the next 2 to take it to a tie break. So the players were mentioned. I'll run them quickly. Azpilicueta, Modric, Gerard Moreno, Ruben Diaz, Phil Foden, Pedri, Harry Kane, Bruno Fernandes, Riyad Mahrez, Mason Mount, Simon Kjaer, did I say that? Raheem Sterling, Bonucci, Chiellini, and I believe all the top 12 were mentioned. So there
Okay,
you
I
go.
had backups there. That's
I'm
reassuring.
surprised no one said Kane. considering he's like the best
Well,
player.
he was one of the ones that I was.
I'm surprised that he was 20. I suppose because of the second half of the season
Yeah,
is why
he
he's
finished
not.
it.
Right, so next one is Premier League top assisters since 01-02. So what I mean by this are players that have topped the assist charts every season in our lifetimes. So that's why I've got the list here. The same criteria. If you get one wrong, you have another go. If you get one again, not Kieran, you will keep top.
This is going to be quite easy to.
There aren't that many. There are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, I believe, because some of them had the same player. So, Kieran, who are we kicking off with?
Well, I'll go last season's Harry Kane.
Correct.
I was going to go for that. I don't know. Can't think of anyone concrete apart from that. Oh, no. De Bruyne. He must have won.
Yeah.
Come on.
He does. I haven't got to see. I should have probably wrote the season.
Thought about him last time we did this, so not about this time.
Thierry Henry.
Yes. Very early on. He loved the assists.
Holds the record, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Mm.
It was only once or twice I think he was actually top. He was just consistently
Please get this
getting
wrong now,
a lot.
Barefoot, because I am on the ropes already.
I was going to say, you were straight out of the box with that one. I have not got anyone else in my chamber locked up.
So this is like a who's who of good playmakers in the Premier League.
It is, but you got to think people don't always. I thought it was just going to be the people
So I
that
can
got a
see.
lot of assists. I was going to be like Bruno, and I was like, no, he's never topped the charts though.
Yeah.
I've got someone in my mind, but I don't know if I'm going to say it because eventually I'm going to say it. David Silva.
Yes, David Silva was on there.
Fine. I had him. Okay.
Come on, Kieran. Keep him 4. As this gives you a lifeline if Kieran can get it wrong. I mean, if you've got someone on the tip of your tongue, Kieran, you may as well say it.
I don't know. No, I have names, but none of them are concrete. None of them.
Ooh, I think maybe you've got to throw one of these names out. Take the hit like Barefoot did.
Right, I'm gonna just rank the top 3 I've got.
I'm going to make notes down, think of players I could.
The thing is, they're probably all players, all 3 you've got probably are on this list because it is genuinely just a who's who.
Mm.
If you do have to cast your mind back to a couple seasons ago, not just this season, who are the best playmakers? Who were the best playmakers 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, that's why David Silva's a shout.
Come on, Kieran.
I hate this.
You know you want to slip up, mate. Make it a bit more interesting.
I don't. I really don't. Right, come on. Frank Lampard.
There we go. Frank Lampard in there.
Oh, that's a great guess. Damn it.
Ooh.
Go a
Didn't like that.
lifeline for Kieran there. He took it right into injury time for that.
I'm just going to go because I've got 4 names down, so I'm just going to say some. Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes. No, Paul Scholes isn't on there, surprising.
Come on.
So this,
Yeah, I think I've got 3 people down which would get assists, but I don't know if that. I don't know if any of them actually got. Now I want to take my time.
this is
I'm
to
going to say it because
take it into.
it could be a loss, but I'm going to say Ericsson.
Nah, Kieran is the number 1 contender.
He was one of my backups.
There we go.
My other names I had was Ryan Giggs and Oscar for Chelsea.
Both wrong.
Giggsy surely on there.
Giggs
What about
is on
Gerrard?
there. Giggs probably has a lot of assists. Yeah, so I'll read. Obviously, Harry Kane, Kevin De Bruyne said. Eden Hazard, Mesut Ozil, Cesc Fabregas, Steven Gerrard, Juan Mata, Nani, Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney.
I'm not gonna lie, Nani. When this came up, Nani's my first one. I was like, nah, Nani never got top of it.
Nani, Frank Lampard, Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney, Didier Drogba, Muzi Izit, and Robert Pires were the top.
When you said Lampard, I thought Gerrard, and then I was like, nah, can't see him getting. It's annoying.
Right, so we have one more. We shall play for pride here.
Yeah.
Kieran currently 12-3 up, so he won't have to worry too much about anything. But So most Premier League appearances. This might be probably a bit more of a difficult one than the last one. So again, I went on the Premier League website, looked at who's got the most all-time Premier League appearances.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ollie, you can start for a bit of pride.
Gareth Barry.
Top what? Top.
Gareth, top 25 or 24. Okay. It might be 24, 25.
Gareth Barry, any number one?
Yep. Gareth Barry, number one, 653. I have wrote down how many appearances they have. 653 for Gareth Barry.
That bring me back into the game because I got it first time number one.
Well, Rooney's got to be on there.
Wayne Rooney is, he's there. 491 appearances for him.
I think we've done this before when we did our Zoom lockdown ones.
Oh, that's a throwback. See if you can.
Right.
Cast your mind back to then.
Surely Giggs was. He played a lot.
Yeah, Giggs is second, 632 for Ryan Giggs. So he's in the Premier League for ages.
Come on, everyone get top 3 points back in
the... Steven Gerrard.
Yes, Steven Gerrard in there, 504 appearances for him.
Aguero.
No.
Is he not?
Really?
No, Aguero's only in the Premier League for like 6 years.
Yeah, but he played
the lowest amount of appearances on this list is 445. So he did not play that many times in the Premier League in 7 years that he was here. Maybe he was longer than that, but a lot of injuries. So Ollie, come on, Ollie.
Ollie, maybe think about goalkeepers.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of that. I'm Petr Cech.
It's a very domestic list. I will say that.
Petr Cech?
No.
How did he not?
He's not on there. Right, Kieran, did you have anyone?
Well, I was going to say Petr Cech, but now Ollie said it, I won't say it.
Right, so just so Kieran, it's a conclusive victory. Kieran, if you want to suggest a couple names before I run through the list.
One or two, maybe.
Paul Scholes probably is, surely.
John Terry.
John Terry was on there, yes, 492.
Paul Scholes?
Paul Scholes was on there, 499.
Yeah.
Were there any goalkeepers?
Yeah, there were goalkeepers. Yeah, I believe there were 4.
Michael.
Schmeichel, no.
Is Carrick on there?
No.
He's not.
I'll run through.
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster wasn't on there, obviously. Ben Foster, he got injured playing for hashtag in a charity game. Absolute stink.
Did it?
He's
Oh
done his hamstring. He's out till 2022. The ones you missed out, I don't know if Frank Lampard really said. He made 609 appearances. David James, 572. James Milner, 570. Gary Speed, obviously God rest his soul, 535. Emil Heskey, 516. Mark Schwarzer, 514. Carragher, 508. Phil Neville, 505. Ferdinand, 504. Sol Campbell, 503. Defoe, 496. Rooney, 491. Sylvain Distin, which surprised me, 469. Peter Crouch, 468. Aaron Hughes,
I was going to say
455. Shay Given, 451. Brad Fiedel, 450. And John O'Shea, 445. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. Ollie is going to be quizzing us next week.
Call me a future teller. I said at the start, I'm going to be doing the podcast next week. You know, I just like making quizzes. I purposely lose. It's a game plan. I can make you guys stress and quit.
Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on social media, Twitter, TikTok, which has gone really cool recently. We had a big video there for the first time. That was a nice feeling. We might have got the answer wrong with it, but who cares? If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a like, comment, tell us what you think. Check out our website, 12football.com, for the latest written pieces from our growing list of contributors around the world. We'll see you next week.